recasting the problems that show up in them into algebraic terms. So sort of think of it as what, as a mathematician, I would call a toy example, and then what, as someone who's dealt with real objects, I would also call toy examples, because I'll be talking about toys. So what sorts of toys in particular? Well, I want to think about spatial reasoning puzzles like Rubik's Cube, and I'll spend a lot of time talking about these. And I'll also talk towards the end about some number games like Sudoku. So all things that we should be somewhat familiar with. So if you're like my mom and you read a paper, then you see Sudoku. If you're someone younger than my mom, you might have seen it on the internet. And there are other bigger variants of these. The one below this one, I don't know what it's called, like Mega Minx or something. And it's the exact same principle as the Rubik's Cube, but built on the dodecahedron rather than on the cube. And then this is Sudoku, which I find fun when Sudoku's not bored. So I'll spend some time talking about spatial reasoning puzzles, and I want to just sort of think about basic rules. I actually brought some. So I brought one that I'll use to demonstrate. Ooh, I know, look at this. This came from Toys R Us just a few days ago. And then because it's more fun if you can actually practice on your own. I guess there's one for each column, so you have to sort of play around and then share with your neighbors. Okay. Just pass it back. Well, okay, so we can actually grab it and solve it. If you put it back in that arrangement, certainly. Okay. Oh, you watch your own?
Yes.
Nice job. So, let's think about what the basic rules are. We have a fixed winning state. There we go. I can put the cube into this and I've won the game. I've solved the puzzle. This is also, there's a unique state that satisfies this. So I know this. It's the one where all of the faces are single solid colors. I have a sequence of moves which lets me move between the states. So I know what these are. I can rotate the faces. I can rotate any of the 6 faces. I can rotate them clockwise. I can rotate them counterclockwise. And I can rotate the middle pieces. But that's it. So I have in that case, a finite set of things I can do at each stage. I can reverse any move. So if I do one, then I can undo it. And then the moves that I have are independent of the current state that I'm looking at. So in other words, the moves that I have right now are the same as if I greatly shuffled this up. I have the exact same set of things I can do. This is different than some of the other sort of spatial puzzles. Like, if you think about the one that has the numbers from 1 to 15 and then a little blank, it's the sort of thing that you give out to very little kids. It's a party paper. The things you can do there, you can move any of the number tiles into the open slot, but I don't get to move, say, the tile 1 into the open slot, because you can only move the ones that are adjacent to it. So it's not the case that in that I can do any move at any time. The moves there depend on the current state. So a little bit of a difference. So I found this video, since I'm talking about Rubik's Cubes, of this boy who solves it blindingly fast, and I think this is him getting the world record. Oh. This is real time. So I'll just show you that again because it's really amazing.
Must be oiled.
I would assume so. I can. It just locks all of them. Precious fingers must also be oiled, I guess. So it's really amazing. Yeah, it's shocking. A little bit.
Wait, former?
I'm sorry.
It's a former. It's not.
So what does it pass? Yeah. So there are a bunch of moves that I can't do. So as I said, we can't do the ones that occur only in certain states. So like with the so-called 15 or 16 puzzle. I can't get all possible starting arrangements of the little stickers on this. We'll talk about some arrangements that I can't possibly get. In other words, there are some starting states that I could imagine building by taking apart the cube and then reassembling it that would never have a solution, for which the game becomes unwinnable. And then I can't, these are obviously illegal moves, so I can't break it And it's an easy way to solve it, but it's sort of a cheap one too.